Welcome to episode 108 of the Super Chevy Brothers podcast. It is Wednesday, November 9th. All right. Happy November. We're finally here. Didn't have an episode last week. I was under the weather. Wasn't feeling so great, but we're here today. How you doing, Mom?
Great. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Good. All right.
Ready.
The show's over. Thanks for playing.
That's all we needed.
You play any games recently?
Yes.
You still playing Snap?
Snap. I play Snap, and I have yet to lose.
Okay, hold on. What? All right, let me ask a question. What rank are you? What's your rank?
I don't keep up with that.
Okay, so you anybody. If you haven't lost yet, you haven't gotten to the real stuff. Okay.
That means you've lost.
Oh yeah, I've lost a lot. Once you get past rank 25, you start hitting like. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're not risky. Do you snap?
Snap?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So the game's called Snap. You didn't even wonder why it's called. You didn't think, hey, maybe I should. Maybe there's a reason.
Put the card down. That's Snap.
No, you haven't seen where the square at the top will explode, and then it's like you get 2 rankings this time. You haven't seen any of that? Are you not paying any attention to this game?
I just win.
Okay, so either A, you're not playing enough. B, you're not paying any attention.
A, B.
And C, the other 2 combined.
C.
Okay, next time, pay a little more attention.
I will, but I keep winning. That's all I want. When I win, I just go, yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah, but I think you're only playing against bots. Because on when you first start, they put some bots in there, so you learn the game.
Yeah, well, they're not very sharp bots, I guess.
But if you haven't seen a snap yet, either you haven't gotten to the part of the game
where
so.
It goes bzzz, a big thing. And it says...
It literally says snap.
Yeah, I think I have. I'm going to say I did.
Okay.
But whatever it says, I win.
All right, keep it down. In my microphone. Yeah. Okay, well...
I'm enjoying it. It's still good.
There's a new Black Panther season now.
It's going to be out, right?
No, in the game.
Oh, is it?
Okay, you're not paying no attention.
I don't think I've got to your level, that's all.
No, it doesn't matter what level you're at. If you open the game, it's like Black Panther. You can
that must be brand new, because I played yesterday.
It started 2 days ago. Yeah.
Well, maybe it was like 11:49, and then I missed it that day. I don't know.
Well, here's one thing, okay? It's game related.
And what does it do? There's a card?
What, snapping or what?
The Wakanda thing.
Yeah, so it opens a new season of... So a lot of games these days are like... they're games as a service. So it's not like you just buy the game and then you're done. Oh, my mic's falling over here. Instead, it's like... instead of just buying the game and you're done, every 2 or 3 weeks, it's a new season. And they add stuff in the game. And the more you play, you get points and you can earn those things. Or you can pay and get those things. So the more you play, the less you have to pay if you want those things.
Okay. I have to play more.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying that game.
And next week or in 2 weeks, there's an update where you can play against people. So if you get to the point where you're still on I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to demolish you.
That's what you say. Hey.
You
never know.
Hey, I'm a card guy, all right?
Where did you learn it from?
Well, with a lot of stuff going on today, God of War released today. This is news to Mom, clearly, apparently. Even though we've talked about this like 3 times.
Oh, the new game for it, yeah.
Yeah, the new game.
We're gonna play it, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna play it. So we're playing God of War after the podcast, so you can get a taste of that. I got a new toy.
You did? How can you tell?
That's a joke. It's a Bloodborne toy. It just came in today. Yeah, I'm excited. But other than that, let's get into the news.
Do it.
All right, number one.
Round one. Fight!
All right, so we got some Final Fantasy news. Two points here. The first one, so Final Fantasy 15, or sorry, 16, coming out soon. Well, not soon. It's coming out, and it was announced as an exclusive for PlayStation 5. It looks like it'll only be for the first 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then it'll come out to PC, and I don't know about Xbox. Maybe, who knows, but
how long does it usually take?
It depends. For example, like Tomb Raider, when that was an exclusive on Xbox, it was an exclusive for like, I think a year or 2 years or something. But then I'm pretty sure it sold way more on PlayStation. So these days, exclusivity things tend to be shorter because that was like, I think, because that sucks that your game doesn't start selling until a year later, and it really starts selling well on the other thing that they get paid for it, right? But exclusivity depends. Sometimes it's forever. Sometimes it's years. Like if you look at the Spider-Man games, Sony owns those games. So it released on PC like 3 years, 4 years later or something. Yeah, but buy a PlayStation. I mean, if you really want to play
that's a little elitist, isn't it?
No, it's not. If you want to play Gears,
you can't afford a PlayStation.
No, that's true. But we're okay. If this was like 20 years ago,
you sounded like the ladies on The View.
What'd they say?
They talk about what's the best way to handle your bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you share your bank account with your spouse? Or do you have your own bank account? Oh, I have to have my own bank account. Because when I want to pay for ballet, or he wants to pay to go golfing, and everything they did is something that probably your average person doesn't do.
I get that,
so, but everyone doesn't own a PlayStation 5. First of all, they weren't available.
Fine, but whatever the console is, here's the thing. We're not at it. Gaming has changed so much in 20 years. There's so much to play.
Right.
No matter what you've got. If you've got a Switch or an Xbox or a PlayStation or a PC, if you're missing out on that game you want to play, unless you really want to play it that bad, you're not really missing out. I mean, I love Gears of War, right? But I couldn't play Gears. I didn't have an Xbox, right? Because first of all, it was in Japan, so they only have one in each store. So it's probably gone or something. And number two, like they didn't have that many great games to play. So I don't want to buy an Xbox if I'm going to play one game.
But that's a choice. I'm saying for people who can't afford it.
Well, it's different. If you can't afford a PlayStation 5, you probably. What do you have? No, I'm saying.
Oh, don't finish that thought.
No, I'm saying if you can't afford a PlayStation 5, it probably means you can't afford an Xbox or a PC to play those same games. So you're not like, oh, I'm missing out on Spider-Man. You're like, I'm missing out on everything. I don't have nothing.
You're fortunate enough to have a PC. You can play it.
Yeah, but your PC has to play like the games you call like hot games. That PC has to be pretty good. Like you're not gonna play it on a $300 PC.
If you're poor, you're not gonna have a good PC
either. Yeah. So I'm saying,
but I'm glad it's 6 months and not a year and a half or 2 years or ever.
Sure. Yeah, that's good. Or never. Yeah, or never. Yeah, that's good. But the other Final Fantasy news is so this is a Kotaku article, and you have to highlight this is Kotaku article. They're very left-leaning gaming news publication. Okay, so a lot of the articles about
is that why this
sex,
article
race, and
is
gender.
Why is
that's why
Final Fantasy so white?
Yes, that's why the article's titled the way it is. The article name is "Why is Final Fantasy So White?" So apparently there was an interview with the the director of this Final Fantasy,
Yoki Yoshida.
Right. And I guess the question was asked why they're like no dark or brown or black or any people of those types.
People of color.
People of color. That's what. Thank you.
Dark and brown.
Any people of those colors, people of color. Sorry.
So that person of color responded, "How?"
Don't tell a Japanese person they're people of color.
I get that from the article.
That is
Apparently, he
insulting
doesn't
to
think he
them.
fits in that category.
Well, okay. I think one thing that's very American is that America sees the rest of the world as other Americas. They're just not as good as this America. Okay, that's one thing.
Do you really think that?
Yeah, Americans. When we talk, I talk after going to Japan and meeting all these people and Europeans and Americans think about other places like that's Japan is like a Japanese America. It's like they just imagine everything happens the same way there, but Japanese. Japanese people, when they have it's all fantasy anyway.
Let's not get it.
Hold on, no.
I know this.
It's all fantasy anyway. The Final Fantasy tends to have mostly just white people and European knights and dragons,
right,
or
because
whatever.
it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but that reality and also the reality of like I don't know, a white person wakes up and goes and has Starbucks or something. They're the same fantasy for Japanese people. That's just what aliens do somewhere on the planet. They don't care about diverse. It's like that's not Europe, dark people or whatever he's doing. That's what he says in his story as well. But I think I'm not saying it's okay.
In his mind, yeah.
In his mind,
that's not correct. That's not factual.
Right? Yeah, it's not factual. But I don't think it matters that there are no dark people in the game. It doesn't. It's probably you haven't played a Final Fantasy game.
I thought it was an unusual question.
It is an unusual question.
Yeah, but I just didn't like the answer. It was just such.
But that's a Japanese.
What did he say? An over incorporation into this single corner, the larger world, would end up causing, quote, I'm going to quote this, a violation of narrative boundaries we set for ourselves.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Because I'm telling you, you don't want them to put a black person in the game.
I couldn't even imagine what that would go.
Because if they did, I'm just saying, I get it. You want diversity and reflections and all that stuff of real life. But if they did put a black person in the game, have you seen Final Fantasy VII and the black guy in there and how he talks? Or Final Fantasy X and the black guy in there, how he is? Okay, you don't want a black guy in a Final Fantasy.
All right, so Kotaku, what is it?
I don't want.
Don't encourage it. Please.
This is a quote. I don't want black people in Final Fantasy games.
Don't encourage it. We don't want them there.
It's just like I get it though. I get the author. We should like it kind of it's tipping like towing the line of diversity for the diversity's sake. You know what I mean?
It kind of was,
because it doesn't matter. It's a Japanese RPG, right?
It doesn't, but it does. It's like it's not reality, right? It's fantasy, Final Fantasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I understand it's based in European culture,
but it's not based on. It's based on European culture in the way that, like,
Europe,
in the kind of like in the same way, like a Game of Thrones is based on. It's hilly, it's rainy, and a lot of white people.
So you assume these Vikings and all that. They're
right, and they're just building off. They're not even building off of European culture. They're building off of media that reflects old thoughts on European. Because I mean, even when you look at Game of Thrones, the only reason there are black people in this one, this newest season, is because these people, the dragon people, are from somewhere else anyway. But when you think of all the people who live on the main game of islands, they're all white, except like the guy who died in the face changers.
Right.
But even they were white, right? There's no black people in. It's
Didn't
like
change to look like black people.
well, the first one
The
did.
first
Remember
one
it?
did,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
But
They
the
got
thing
rid of that
is,
quickly.
it's like I can't blame the Japanese. It's not just him. All the things are like that. When they're basing a lot of this stuff on Western media anyway, that is mostly white anyway. You have to realize like the lens, we're way more connected to them than they are to us. They're like they're eating the movies, they're eating the TV shows, they're taking it in.
But I mean,
And it's truth. In the same way, like people here think Japanese people buy panties out of stalls on the street, or it's anime everywhere, and all the girls are cute.
okay,
Like people's
slow it
image.
down because I don't know any of that. I don't.
Well, okay. People's image of Japan and what it is wrong. In the same way, like Japanese people's image of other places is wrong.
I
It's
get
just
that.
that's their image of it. So it's like I get the question, but I kind of don't like the implication of like you're doing a naughty to the Japanese, because to him that is what it is. It's not like you know what I mean? There's
I
a
don't
difference.
think there's any intent.
No, at all. Like,
Just a Final Fantasy game.
yeah. Final Fantasy games, there are 16 core ones. There are more than 16. 16, let's say 16 core Final Fantasy games. You could probably count on your hand 4 of them that are decently told story-wise. Maybe more than that. But, I mean, out of the newer ones. After 6, yeah, it's pretty rough. So, and you don't want black people in those games.
Well, it was kind of funny. He asked him kind of point blank why whites only, and he said fantasy is rooted in reality. That was his response. That was kind of funny.
It was pretty funny, but it's his perceived reality, so whatever. But yeah, you got to read Kotaku regularly. It's very left leaning. I would say even past left leaning. It's like really like every other article is some political thing. Like half the Elon Musk stuff we'll talk about later today is the same. Yeah. But before we get to that, all right, before we hit the Musk,
what time it is?
Do you? We got to do Mom's movie review. Which music you want?
The real one.
I don't remember which button it is.
That's it.
Okay.
This is Mom's Movie Corner, starring
All right. Well, for this week.
God dang.
Too loud?
Yeah, can you take one thing?
No, I like it like this.
Okay, I'm just going to have to mute my
I
microphone
can't
when
hear
you're speaking.
very well. Okay, so for this week's movie review, we have 2 solid movies. So I'm going to start with the one that I would have reviewed last week if someone hadn't been under weathers. Halloween ends. I know. Halloween's over.
Okay, I'm just going to mute my mic here because
I get excited when we talk about movies. So, Halloween ends. What I have to say about that is finally Halloween ends. I don't know if anybody realizes this, but this was number 13 of the Halloween movie series. 13 of the same movie.
it's a lot.
The same characters with very little variation. The same slasher things going on. Just trying to make it more hideous each time.
Well, hold on. If it's 13 of them, aren't they, with this one included, aren't there only like 6 about the main
There's
plot.
one. There's one movie. They made it 12 additional times.
Well, I mean, as far as
1978.
okay,
Halloween.
as far as Michael Myers and him killing his family, there are only like 6 of them, right?
That's it. That's the
Okay.
story. And it happened in Halloween, period. 1978. It happened in Halloween 2, 81. Again in 82, Halloween 3, Halloween 4. When
Well, hold on. Halloween 3 has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
they lost their minds, yeah. So I'm sorry, 12 of the same movie. How's that? Halloween 4 and then Halloween 5 in 1989. So in 1995, they took a breather and called it Curse of Michael because they got tired of saying the same name of the movie over and over again.
That's the one with the little girl, right?
That's
Yeah.
a sick one. So at 20 years, 1998, they have a 20-year anniversary movie. And then
And that's the third one that is
you can keep counting if you want.
Okay. Yeah,
2002,
sure.
they had a resurrection of the same movie. 2009,
Oh, it wasn't 2002 Busta Rhymes?
they could bust whatever they wanted to as the same movie. And then in 2007, they called it Halloween. They couldn't think of anything else to call it.
Well, that was a reboot. That was the Rob Zombie, very bloody, gory.
2018,
Halloween
9
2.
years later, they called it Halloween 2.
Also Rob Zombie.
2021, just Halloween. And then Halloween Kills. I apologize for that one. Really creative. And then 2022, for the love of all this holy, Halloween Ends. Thank you. That's all I have to say. Jamie Lee Curtis, you had a great run. She did a great job. She was a child when this began. She is a grandmother now. She lived through the whole thing. She killed Michael 47 times and came back. And every time. It's like, what do you call it when you kill your brother? Brother side, right? She killed her brother.
Is that what it's called, brother side? What about when you kill your sister?
Sister side.
What about when you kill your parents?
Infanticide?
Oh, no, that's the opposite.
What is that one called? You know what it's called. Who cares? But my point is, it's finally over. They made novels, video games, lots of merchandise, comic books. There's tons of incest in this movie because, this is all about sex. But he even had sex with his niece and had a baby.
What are you talking about?
There was a baby. You didn't watch all of these.
I did watch them all.
Hey, I can't remember which one it was in, but Mike had an incestuous. He raped his niece. He had some people take her away, like 6 of his goblin followers.
Oh yeah, that's the curse
Right,
one.
the
Yeah,
curse.
yeah, that's right.
She had a baby. Incestuous.
Right, but all that got deleted.
Why was he still after his sister after all this?
All that got deleted with H2O. Well, it's because Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to come back after the second one because they had a different director and a different everything. So they did the third one, which was like some witch story or something.
That was weird.
And then still nobody wanted to come back. So they did the fourth one, right, which is the little girl thing, and that was 2 movies or whatever. And then many years later, they're like, "Hey, 20-year anniversary." Jamie Lee Curtis comes back. They do that movie, and she kills him at the end of that movie. And then they're like,
him at the end of every movie, but
Yeah,
she didn't
okay.
kill him.
okay, wait. She kills him at the end of that movie, but then in 2002 or this, they like Busta Rhymes was like, "I really like Halloween." Ooh, boo boo.
He would not say "oop bup bup booey." He'd
Admit-
say, "I like Halloween." That's what he'd say. She killed her son. Again, thank the Lord for this movie. I did. It's the same movie as 1978. Now, in 1978, I'd never seen anything like it before. So it was like the
Okay,
best
when's the last
movie.
time you watched that movie, the original?
The
Because I watched it
original?
recently.
1978.
Okay,
Because I
I
don't
don't.
have to keep watching the same thing over
So
and over.
me and Kalonika and I watched the movie, okay, and
Was it terrifying?
no, because one, I guess in Sri Lanka, the music they use for his theme is like a like really common,
Oh, no.
like comedy
You
sound.
can't do that.
So every time he would be like around the corner and behind the fence, yeah. So for her,
No,
that was not scary at all. That's
the scariest thing about the movie. If
Yeah.
I'm at home alone and that music was on, I would just run for the hills. That just terrifies me. I tell you what, out of all the horror movies, that has the best score. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, John Carpenter, for many years, and Rob Zombie for making it gushy. But Halloween ends finally. And I gave it an A for getting the hell out of the movie business. How's that?
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna ask you to please take one headphone off because I'm tired of
Am
muting
I
the mic. Oh,
screaming?
you are hitting my microphone so hard.
I'm so sorry.
It's
I hope
okay.
that it hurt anybody's ears out there. Okay.
All right.
I
Back
get
to the
excited
news.
about
Round
my...
2.
All right.
Fight.
Back to the news. Okay. Back.
Oh, we're back to news?
Yeah,
I don't
back
get
to
to say my...
Oh, you had a second movie. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. So, the second movie, thanks for that tiny little intro, was Uncharted.
Say it again. Try again.
Did something happen?
No, you you pronounced that wrong. It's not a movie about not paying someone from government money to start a business.
What did I say?
You said Uncharted.
What's the name of the movie?
Uncharted.
I said
It's not
Uncharted. Oh, I wrote
It's-
down Uncharted.
It's not Uncharted.
Reminds me of sharding or something. Uncharted.
Yeah, I guess if you say it like that, it sure would.
Uncharted. This was fun. I had a good time with that movie. It starred Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Isn't Tom in the Spider-Man movies?
Yes,
Okay.
Tom is Spider-Man.
He's fun. He looks like a kid. He's not a kid. He's a grown man. But he was fun in this movie too as well. Victor Sullivan was played by Mark Wahlberg, and Sophia Ali portrayed Chloe Fraser, kind of with the trio. I love that they brought in Antonio Banderas as Santiago Mancada. Played his part very well. And then finally, the villain, Braddock. Tati Gabrielle. She played her role. She was awesome. So it was a really great adventure. I like that they're hunting for treasure and looking for lost things. It's like who's going to betray who's going to be trusted, and lots of intrigue and excitement. I don't want to tell anything. I mean, although if you haven't seen it by now, shame on you. And it's a game.
Okay, can you give like just a summary of what the plot is?
I did. It's a treasure hunt. It's a treasure hunt. It's not that complicated. Black Adam was complicated. There was some history going on, all that stuff. This is a treasure hunt. Okay. You want me to get into it? So
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I just thought maybe people will want to know what the movie's about.
It's a treasure hunt, and it's a fast, furious, exciting treasure hunt. Lots of action-packed scenes, and I don't want to get into that. I mean, there's a storyline behind it with the brothers growing up together close, and one brother goes off in search of lost treasure, and the other one stays in a foster home. And when he finally grows up, he's. I mean, you either want me to tell it or you don't. Okay, there's a storyline, but the brother sent someone to get him involved because he knew that he knew some of the secrets that he had taught him. That's it. Ta-da!
Okay. I'm gonna have to cut my gate as high as possible.
What's that?
It's the thing that stops sounds from coming into the microphone.
Well, now that I'm done, I will lower my voice. I just get excited
No, that's okay.
about movies. Okay, so movies are over. Let's transition. Move on.
All right, this is a failed experiment. Should have done your movies first or last. Okay.
Okay. Kotaku story.
Yeah, another one. Elon Musk. He bought Twitter. You talked about it last week.
Yes.
And lots happening there.
I said that I was getting off of Twitter.
Did you? Yeah, okay.
I don't even look
Did you
at
vote?
it. Did I vote? Did you ask me that?
I guess the answer is a no.
It is an absolutely yes.
Okay. Grammatically, that's wrong, but I understand what you
It's
said.
not about grammar. It's about voting. Yes, I cast my vote. I let my voice be heard. I am an American. I voted. It is right and my privilege.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Did
Elon
you
Musk.
vote?
Yes, I voted.
Are you an American?
I wrote Kanye in every line.
Okay, let's move on.
There was one thing is like uncontested, like it was just a write-in. Who else was going to write
You
in?
did not.
Why wouldn't I? Actually, I wrote in Ye because he's the artist formerly known as Kanye West. He's okay. Elon Musk, Twitter's his. He's making changes. Fired a lot of people earlier this week.
Yeah, he's doing that old school thing. Come in
now-
and burn it down.
Yeah, come in, burn it
Know who's
down.
boss.
Now he has to hire back a lot of those people. I think they fired too many
He's
people.
pissed them all off. now.
And we also had, what else was it? I'm sorry.
That he
blanking.
suspended so many people.
Yeah, so there's a verification thing now. Right? So previously, verification on Twitter was just like it meant you're the real person you say you are.
And how did they know? They actually have verified. It took the time to make sure that was hired to
Sure.
do that.
And then they would so it would mean you're the person you say you are, and you have some notoriety. Because a lot of times I guess the use of the check was when you want to go see what so and so is saying, you want to make sure you're listening to that so
person.
because there are a lot of different
Fakes.
right. But apparently it's going to cost $8 now.
Well, instead of being
verification.
actually verified, you just pay to be verified.
Right, you pay to be
Because
verified.
he fired everybody who probably verified people.
Maybe.
But it doesn't come with a real verification. It's pay for it, you got it.
No, they
I
verify you, I think.
Maybe now, but I think the point they were proving
No,
is that you can just buy a check.
Uh-huh.
So you can say that's who you are. That doesn't mean that's who you are.
Well, I think the verification with buying the check is the attachment to a payment method.
If you already have a check,
In the same way we talked about how Blizzard was needed phone numbers from people,
Right.
and then they'll do the same thing with whatever card or whatever you use, and verify that it belongs to a person, and that's you. That's essentially what it is.
so you think Cher has that on her credit card?
What they
Oh,
Doesn't
these
matter.
movie stars, that's not their names.
Well, I don't know how
Rock.
they're gonna verify. I don't know how
That's
they're
not
gonna.
his name.
No. Everybody knows it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I'm pretty sure that's part of his actual name now. But apparently the impersonation thing got out of hand. A lot of people were impersonating Elon Musk,
Musk.
and they all got banned. overnight, which is
Off skin.
my favorite part of Twitter is the parody accounts. That's pretty
They're
fun.
pretty funny.
But I guess that's gone for now. And
Well, he said you have to say that it's a
yeah, but that doesn't make it fun. Because part of the fun is you look at it and it says Elon Musk or Barack Obama or Antonio
whoever.
Banderas, and it says, "Oh, I enjoyed whatever horrible joke." You're like, "Why would he say that?" And you're like, "Oh, it's not really Antonio Banderas." That's hilarious. That's the funny part. If I know it's not him, and then it's like Antonio Banderas parody, and it's like but Puss in Boots, it's not as fun. Anyway, that's gone.
Okay. I'm glad.
So, are you gonna pay for verification on Twitter?
Don't care if they know it's me or not. No.
Well, he's also apparently if you're not verified, you're gonna get like no one's gonna see anything.
They don't see them now.
That's true. I blocked you. So. That's true.
That's really bad.
Every time you tweet, I'm like, why'd she tweet that?
I got a tweet. Bird's got a tweet.
I barely tweet. Most of my tweets are about the podcast, so oh well.
Stick to that.
Stick to what?
Tweeting about the podcast.
Okay,
Yeah. So he used the technique of someone we know but will not mention, but you're fired and fired. I don't know. It's sort of like I don't know if he did that on a dare.
Did what?
Bought the company, or he just felt like because they silenced the
No.
step in
No,
and make a statement.
I think he was just it was good publicity and it got people talking about him. And then he went too far.
He went too far.
Like I feel like he went too far, and then like your only course of action is to buy it or kind of egg on your face.
If you have that kind of
yeah, well, he does.
Yeah, and that's the problem right there. Left that alone.
Yeah, but
he could have left it alone, talked some smack on Twitter, and exited.
But if I work for one of his things or on the board or something, this is like his thing now. He can do Twitter because he can do that. He can go do that now.
Yeah, they probably want him to go do that and leave him alone.
Yeah.
And he will until he gets bored.
And it's a good thing for him instead of tweeting something stupid all the time, he can just change a rule, and then there you go. And it's less, everyone thinks he's like
fun billion. He thinks he's fun. I mean, the moon. I mean,
he's kind of a loser. He's kind of a loser. I
don't like to call people losers.
He kind of is. He likes people he likes that people call him Iron Man, or he does. He
like I said,
he loves
a little
it.
Weird, a little strange.
I mean, I don't know if he's a bad guy, but he's kind of.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's
kind of a loser. Okay.
Richest man, how much of a loser can he be?
I don't mean loser and like he's some pathetic moron or something.
No,
I just
he's not. But kind of in a way because he is so rich, and I don't know what to do with myself. I mean, he does things, but they're like, can't you find something better to do? Then say, well, if you don't like it, I'll just buy you.
Well, hold on. If you were that rich. Right? Think about it. If you were that rich, how much being busy would you like to be doing every day?
I'd be busy vacationing.
No, you wouldn't. That's
every single day.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I'd be busy vacationing. And they go, oh, are you open to vacation business? I said, yes. Figure it out, and I'll be vacationing while you're figuring that out.
Right, exactly. So you would constantly be doing nothing.
That's it.
So of course he's gonna get super into this Twitter thing. He's not doing it. I mean,
That's it. He's bored.
he writes emails and tells people they're fired and stuff. Whatever. But how much of that does he do? Like, is he there every day? Like,
Yeah, he brought the sink. You see him walk in with the sink?
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think he did after the camera was gone? Put the sink down and had someone
He
else
put the
do
sink
whatever
down, told somebody to take it away,
Yeah,
and he walked
it's just
around to see
publicity.
what he bought. See his new toy.
He's been there before.
But it wasn't
Do you think that's the
his.
first time you gotta buy something for however many billions of dollars?
He probably did. He probably just went on the internet and bought it.
No, do you think you're gonna buy something like that and then not go and look or see what you're getting into? Of course he's been there. I mean, if he hadn't, that's kind of
He
silly.
made some other people rich, so.
Yeah, I'm sure. Numeral tree.
Where's that? And 3 times 1. What is it? 3! Yeah, that's a magic number.
That was 3.
No, that was 2.
Oh, Prince of Persia. I'm with.
Right. I think I still have lost. I don't know if he's caught on quite yet. But yeah. So yeah, Prince of Persia. Last year we had a new Prince of Persia game announced, teased, and today looks like that Prince of Persia game is not canceled. However, they are canceling pre-orders and refunding everyone their money.
Ready. Well, they can't just hold on to that money forever, right?
Yes, they can. I mean, as long as the game's coming out, they.
Well, and toward that.
Yeah. Well, so 2020, they announced the game. They're remaking the very popular Sands of Time, but at this point now they're canceling everything, and I'm guessing they need more time. It's still under development, but they're not. It's got to be in like pretty bad shape for them to refuse money from people.
It is, because I don't know why they said they would. I'm sure they had.
Oh, that's how it happened.
Well,
that's how it
I'm
works.
sure that had something to do.
Maybe, but other studios and games have come and released and gotten through the pandemic. And Ubisoft is a really big company. I'm sure they had no problem with.
What else did they release? Maybe that put it on the back burner while they were releasing other stuff.
No, that's not how it works. Okay, so usually in games, what happens is it really depends on the genre of game. If it's something like FIFA, Call of Duty, whatever, they'll announce it like a few months before it releases. Because those are yearly games. If it's something like a God of War or Uncharted, you might hear about that game 1 year to 2 years beforehand.
That's because that takes a lot of.
They all take a lot of work.
All they do is change the numbers on the uniforms.
They all take a lot of work to do. Okay. They all do.
The football, basketball, soccer game, they just change the numbers. It's the same thing, and people keep buying it.
Yeah, okay. You sound like a gamer. But yeah, I mean, it's unexpected, but it kind of sucks. I was looking forward to Prince of Persia
Ask, were you
again.
Games I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that game.
I like the look of it.
Well, when they showed the remake, it didn't look great. It looked like, what are you guys doing? It didn't look how, for example, we have Resident Evil 4 remake coming out, and it looks amazing. Or we have Dead Space remake coming out. These games look like you took that game in the past and you just made it today, which is what they should look like. This remake looked they didn't put much time into it when they showed it. And so it's not really surprising, but it usually a big company doesn't do this. But hey,
good they recognize that and put out an inferior.
Yeah.
Bad they gave the money back.
But they should. But they should.
I think they should,
but it's not okay. How most pre-orders work. A lot of people, if you do it physically, you pre-order in the store. Right? Or if the game is available for pre-order on, I don't know if it was available for pre-order yet on PlayStation or something. It may be on their PC store, maybe. But I'd say probably most pre-orders are probably physical, I'm guessing. So that's GameStop's problem. Because GameStop takes the pre-order, they take the money, but they only take like $5
right.
to reserve it.
Tons
And
of
say,
money.
yeah,
Not paying for the entire game.
Right.
It's like I'm betting $5 it will come out.
Well, they usually do. That's not much of a bet.
Well, they won that bet this time.
Okay.
Lost.
Well. Anyway, let's see. So that's all I had to talk about.
I talked about mine.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll play God of War.
Yes. I don't know.
I love the energy. Thanks for listening to the podcast. This is from the Super Chevy Brothers podcast, episode 108. You can find us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook at Super Chevy Bros. Stick around. The stream will restart soon, and we'll have God of War up. We'll see you guys next time.